Hello, my good people. It's Chris Mniko here, live from East Africa, Kenya, guys. Now is afternoon in our side here, Kenya, guys. Can just have a look. That is the sun. Just want to go and sit down. Can just see the sun is going to sit down. So today I have an amazing content here. I want to show you what is taking place here and some. Can you just see, guys? This place. This is the plantations of sugarcane along this place. And this, do you see these big trees? These big trees, many they're just using like a boundary in Africa. You use them for separation of the land, making two portions. These ones it belong for somebody, and this one it belongs to somebody. So this is the way we live in Africa. And when I see big trees like this one, I just remember the story that when I was young, I really liked climbing to the trees, mostly in the tall trees like this one. But one day, I tried to crumble on a tree and I fall down. So I really just hated crumbling on the trees since from that day. But also we really liked crumbling mango trees because we just going there because of mangoes and even orange trees. But and even eucalyptus because of firewood. That's the way we really just that's the way we really use it to fetch firewood in our place here, Kenya, guys, most of Africa. These are sugarcane plantation. Can just see. These are the two ways, guys. This one and this one. I think it's going for the home of somebody. I don't know, but I want to pass this place here. But it look amazing. Can just have a view. This I got here. It's just feeling, and it's still feeling. You can just. There's a woman. So thank God for this life. I'm still healthy. I'm breathing, and I'm very thankful. And thank God for everything that's really making. Oh, guys, I have seen something amazing here. I want to give a story about it. It is a nice plant, and but it have a lot of stories. The way you see this plant, let me show you what I'm talking about. This plant, that one there, guys. That plant was having a lot of stories, guys. When I used to be a young kid, if you're just a person who just urinating on the bed, we use this one for just you come around, you rotate, you move around this tree like 7 times, then you go straight forward to the bed before you look back to the place where you're heading to. You make sure you go straight to the bed without looking back, and then you'll stop urinating. That's the way our grandfather and our grandmother they really believed about this plant. I can just see it have a very big field, like that way it's looking like. So African guys, our grandfather was just somehow very funny, and we really love them. And some story was just working because of the belief. If you just believed like that way, you could survive by depending of your belief. If even you could believe that when you just rotate around that tree for 7 times and you go back to the bed without looking back, and you have believed the urination, it could stop immediately when you believed like that. So guys, this is the farm. It's a nice farm here, guys. Just see. But I really love the nature. I really love even this plant. You know, this plant, we really use it to eat the fruits when we are young. More so when we are just like, let me talk about 9 years. We used to eat this plant. But most of the fruits of this plant, let me see if I can find one at least to show you what the type of thing I'm talking. But I don't find any fruit this plant. But it was usually being sweet Even goats, they really love this plant, guys. So can I let me pass here? Want to go to another place. I love this village. So can you just see the nature of this place? Can you see the beautifulness, the way the appearance, everything that is looking like a kiss, guys. So by the way, in Africa, when I'm passing like such a kind of a place, I just remember the life we really struggled or we really used to walk in village. When we were young, I used to pass in a shortcut way, going going to home during lunchtime. During during lunchtime from from school, we used to pass to the short using shortcuts, at least to reach area at home in a good time. Sometimes we used to do that because we didn't wanted to miss the food in our homes. That's why we really did like that way in that time. So the area you come at home, the more you can just find a good food to eat. But some people, we haven't even my sister, but she didn't like just like walking or learning. She came home slowly. But I remember one day he missed the food and he really complained totally about that meal. And I think that's the part of life, guys. That's the way we lived. But we really loved our living style in Africa. So when you're seeing me passing in the bush like this way, don't think about it. Don't panic. This is the way we used to live when I was a kid. And until now, I'm proud when I passed through the bush and I found birds. Can you hear that sound? That's the sound of the dove. That's the sound of the dove. So we should to pass in such kind of a place for at least to reach home area and the area. And this forest, they're really making me to remember the place where I came from. Usually in our place, like my home, was not there anything like a portion mill. A portion mill, you could walk almost 1 kilometer going to get a portion mill. It was very difficult to find a portion mill around our village. So getting a portion meal was like a miracle, guys, in Africa here. Mostly, let me talk about my village. It took very long time to have some portion meal around our community, all around our markets. But nowadays, I see there are very several, there are very many, and I thank God because of that, guys. Can just see this tree. This tree, is very important, but they really like making their nest. I think nest. They are really making nest on this kind of a tree. I don't know why, but I think this the trees are best. Even this, they're good for making charcoal. They're very best. No, these are hardwood, and these are natural, guys. Sometimes they come to be like a medicine. So, guys, that's the way we really live in our place here, also Africa, and I'm really just enjoying our homes, guys. But the important thing, when you used to be walking around going to find a portion meal, at least to get a flower, we just found some kind of a plant like guavas. We never miss the guavas on the Lord going to find a portion meal. That's what we really loved because we really enjoyed eating guavas, walking around the Lord or near the road. We could not miss guavas. That's why when I see guavas, I just feel happy and I really appreciate it because it's a plant that have really making me even to grow up. Like there you see, the best fruit that I really love because of maintaining me to be the way I am now, guys. Of guavas, and I will never stop loving guavas. Guavas and mango, Those are best fruit ever in my life, and even orange, that best fruit, because finding them in Africa, it's very easy way, very easy way. They are just founding in many homes, you know, in many homes, guys. So when I see such kind of plant, I just feel amazing and very happy in my heart because it's making me to grow, and I really appreciate it. So I was telling you the story about founding a posher mill, at least to go and make a flour. So we walked a very long distance, very long distance. We could walk even a 1 kilometer, but nowadays I see life has changed. At least nowadays you can walk like 100 meters only, and you found a posher mill. There are very several. There have been many in our place here, Kenya. Let me say also in our village. So another thing like fetching water, we just walked a very long distance, go heading to the river. It took us a long time going to the river for fetching water. It could took us like, let me say like from my home going to the river, we took like 3 hours going to the river. You just think, you walk 3 hours heading to the river and 3 hours coming back to the home, and almost 30 minutes waiting for that time of fetching water, because it was a big line. People just used to make a big line for fetching water. The earlier you come, the earlier you fetch water. So that's the type of stories that we'll never forget about our Africa, all about our community. We just used to live. And another thing, when I remember when I was circumcised, we used to walk like in such kind of a bush like this one, heading to our friends to meet with our fellow circumcised people, at least to mingle together, to work together. We used to live like one brothers and like one team. So we just used this such kind of a place, heading to my brother or to my friend, visiting him, at least to go and have our own tour outside, meeting with other people from different parts of our place, in all different parts of our community. So that's the story about how we really survived and we lived in Africa. Like our young, like youths, we just live like that way. Like our young brothers, sisters, we just live together like brothers. And that's why when I see a big tree like this one, I just remember the history about Africa. We just used the big tree like this one. Let me show you what I'm meaning. Like this one, guys. For making stories, meeting, at least to educate each other, giving each other advice, and making some good fans. But also even ladies were being taught how to sit properly, and even boys were being taught how to protect our homes in Africa. Like men, if you are a man, like our firstborn is a man or is a boy, they usually teach us, our grandfather or and our father and our grandmother, they usually teach us how to protect our family if no father there or our grandfather. Even they teach us how to use some sharp weapons, like sharp arrows. I think you just understand what I'm meaning. We usually teach being taught near the big trees like this one. We sit down, and I remember when after doing farming activity like this one, let me show you. We went to the farm like this one. After doing farming like this one, we used to be sitting near the tree, a big tree like this one, at least to get a porridge or to drink a tea or to take some little amount of water with sweet potatoes. So we used to eat sweet potato with the water, sweet potato with porridge, or sweet potato with milk. We really love milk in Africa because we have many cows. Nowadays in our place here, there are not many. But one time, the way God's really blessing me and the way I'm just continuing with this journey of YouTube, I'm going to take you to the place where there are very many large number of animals like cow, You know, there are some place in Tanzania, people, one person can manage to have 1,000 cows. 1,000 cows. And the way they're just living, that's a story for another day. One day I'm going to take you through Tanzania, at least to show you a little story on how Tanzania people, some parts, the way they're just living. So there are some stories in our place here, Africa, all about our community. That's our lifestyle, the way you just lived here in Kenya, Moso, guys. So I just appreciate it, and I'm very comfortable with our life. We used to take shower in the water, in the river. We used to wash our utensils, everything. So when I see such kind of things, I just feel proud. So guys, I have come across this. Guys, I think these are fruit. These are fruit. These are passion fruit, but I have not seen any fruit. These are passion fruit, and it is natural one, not man planted. This one is for forest. You can find it in the in forest area. So that's where we really lived. And I don't know if you have ever tasted the fruit from the forest that nobody have planted. It's very sweet, but it's really tasting sweet. Some that bitter, but very healthy in your body because no chemical, no organic chemical. They're just free like the way you are, but they're very useful in the body. Very, very important, guys. So today I tried to give you some stories. This is what you see here, and I really love this place. But in Africa here, I'll tell you one thing that we take it common in our place here. Many places that are swampy area. You can just have view here. You can just have a view. Many places are swamp area. Can you see? But the place, the way is looking. Wow. You know this place. Sometimes I really fear the swamp area because sometimes it causes us to have some diseases or to be attacked with some sickness like malaria. We become sick because of more mosquitoes there. Just living near the swamp area. I know the swamp area. Also, what you learn about the swamp area, you'll never miss the sound of a frog. Let me take you through what I'm talking about. At least you can just have a hint of what I'm just meaning. Let us wait like 2 minutes, 1 minute, and you just hear what I'm talking about. Wow, where is the sound of the frog? I want you to hear that sound of the frog. Can you see the place the way it's looking, guys? Very, very nicely, interesting, beautiful. So, I know you have missed the sound, but what I know about the desert area, so you can't miss, no, not the swamp area, you can't miss the sound of the frog. It's very difficult to miss. Very difficult because frogs, they really like the place where there's a lot of water, such kind of things. And that's the way, that's the nature of the frogs. That's the way they just live. So guys, I'm just somehow tired, and for now, my phone is not on a good condition. It's not working. I'm using my friend's phone. So when my phone, I want to go and repair it I will take it to the person who know how to deal with them. Then when it will be well, I'm going to upload more videos. But for now.